EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. 12, 12, 12.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. A short throw there, pulled in by all. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. Well, these two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep from the 33. Here's 2nd down at 7.
Get set.
Now a give, left side, Brown with it. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
How about that run? Picks up a 1st down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Burrow looking to pass. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here, going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now it's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go. 11.
Burrow will throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Here we go. Tonight.
They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Daxton Hill there to make the stop on defense. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
George Pickens, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
3rd down. Here's Brown. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here we go. Here we go. 12, 12, 12.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down.
Here we go. 11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11 Thomas.
From the gun, a give to Brown. He showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. McPherson's kick is good, and that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here we go, Ty. Hey, Ken. EQ. Go.
To throw is Fields. Completes this one to Thornton. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. The Steelers at 6-10 on the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go, Ty.
Play action. It's Fields. They'll roll him out right. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Mason. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
Hey, Ken. Right.
Here's Fields. Wilson snags it left side. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
But this is a football game, right?
It is.
How you like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it?
Here we go.
Touchdowns.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now they go play action now. Burrow. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation.
Here we go.
Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, you have to be aware defensively that you've got 2 goals because obviously you're trying to prevent the touchdown, but you're also trying to keep it from getting a 1st down as well. That time they weren't up to the task, and it's 1st and goal.
Moss. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
11.
Now Burrow. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Here we go.
Brown. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but quite in. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And that is incomplete.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8.
Go.
Here's Fields. A dump off for Mason. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now we get to see the punter, Corliss Waitman. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Jones. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. He returns that punt 73 yards. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
No muss. Here we go. Tonight.
Fields. Got his man. It's Warren. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for him so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Here we go, son.
Now Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Running right, here's Brown. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 3rd and 9 here.
Here we go. 11 MT tape. 11 MT tape. 11.
Here's Burrow. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he'll be out right at the 35. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down.
Gun.
This is Brown going up the middle. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. An inside give, Brown. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the 1st. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now it's Burrow. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Second and 10.
Here we go. 11.
Looking to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
Here we go, son. All right.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Tyquan Thornton, 72 yards. And the Steelers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Fields trying to throw for it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Here we go,
and they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Another run for Brown on second down. And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows?
Here we go.
But looks like they're ready to go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet. But they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Touchdown Bengals. Jamar Chase. 38 yards. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Fields now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Fields. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA.
Here we go.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25.
59 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Extend. Tonight.
Back to throw. Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now it's Fields. On the screen, this is Mason. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. 3rd down and 13.
Here we go, Side. Side.
To throw is Fields. Under pressure, they got him again. Trey Hendrickson, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. T. Higgins with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he returns this to the 22.
Here we go. We're good. Tonight.
Here's Fields. Rolling to his right.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
That is caught. He's across midfield. Big strides. Look at him go.
And he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter.
Easy. Hey, can't. 575. Tonight.
Mason going to get it on 1st down.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On the ground again, it's Mason. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. No one left in the backfield as they send a man left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. An incompletion there on 4th and goal from the 3. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So this is where a defense can really pin back its ears, bring it all, sell out to stop the run. This time, it'll earn them 2 points.
They definitely guessed right here. A run blitz all the way, and that's a bad feeling for a running back when he knows he's got to at least get it over the goal line. But all he sees are opposing jerseys.
Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
He completes it to Wilson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around a lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Straight ahead, here's Mason.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now receiver in motion left.
2nd down and goal. Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris from 4 yards out. And the Steelers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2.
Here we go. Nice.
They'll try the bootleg. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
This offense so far on third down, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. He's going to sling this deep downfield.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end, and this will stay a 3-score game at 24. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Logan Wilson,
the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
4th down, Fields has to have this one. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
Yeah, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Back to throw now on 1st down. Forced out to his left. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Here we go, son.
Here's Fields. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Fields.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Hey, never mind, Monday. Right.
Looking to throw. Fields.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a completion to Wilson. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Here we go. Sit high.
They snap it to Fields.
end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Pat Fryermuth.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
They're going to try and run. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Let's get set.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest.